What up?
Alright. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to
Yahweh,
Yahweh, by
Hashem,
Shimei
Yahushai,
Shai, by
Hashem,
Shem
Kakadash.
Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and salutations to all the Akim. After on the four corners, teaching the truth and sincerity. This is Sasha Raquel Moth of the GMS Guidance Camp. Here with the brother,
The Rock, shalom.
We couldn't go to camp tonight because of the weather, but even though the weather is bad, the word must go out, so we decided to press the button, just to put out those holy and tried words, and have them be a smoke. Well, have them be wonderful for Yahweh Shemir Shai to hear and to smell our works. All right. So, you got anything?
Nah, you got it.
All right. So we're gonna dive into Psalms chapter 30. All right. And Psalms chapter 30 is important. Okay. This is where King David sought out the land for Solomon to build the temple, because he couldn't build the temple himself because he was a man of blood. He was a man of war. All right, but he set forth to make these things so the temple can be built up in Israel properly. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to jump right into it. All right. And Operation Zionist is edifying once again unto the hopeful elect. You got it out.
Khan. This is Psalms chapter 30 and verse 1. It says, a psalm and song at the dedication of the house of David. I will extol thee, O Lord, for thou hast lifted me up, and hast not made my foes to rejoice over me.
Can you put that word extol? I believe it means to praise, to give honor.
Rawam. Strong's H7311 says Rawam, and it means, what does that mean to? It says to rise, to be high actively, to rise or raise, to bring up, to exalt.
All right, because Yahweh Shemir Shai is meant to be exalted. All right, he's not some lowly power. He is the power. All right, Yahweh Shemir Shai. All right, Yahweh being the name of the Father, and Yahweh Shai being the name of the Son. All right, but continue.
This is Psalms. You mind if I get this real quick?
Baruch Shai, you got it.
Con. I'm gonna get this real quick in 2 Samuel chapter 7
Okay.
and verse 1. Just
Okay.
laying back on what you said. When you read the chapter, the header is David plans to build a temple. Alright, 2 Samuel 7 and 1, it says, and it came to pass when the king sat in his house, and the Lord had given him rest round about from all his enemies, that the king said unto Nathan the prophet, see now, I dwell in a house of cedar, but the ark of God dwelleth within curtains. Right? So it's going into basically, David's intent, to build the temple, for Yahweh Shemir Shai, because, as we know, when you go into the history, it was you had the Ark of the Covenant in the tabernacle in the tent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And really all this is symbolic. We know it's prophetic, because the house of the Lord, the temple, so to speak, which starts with Yahweh Shai, is being built now. All right? It's being built now amongst the men of the Lord, and and the prophets that Yahweh Shemir Shai raised up. That's why Paul said, You know, in the New Testament, ye are the temple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'll read a little bit more. And then Bible Shop, if you have anything. 2 Samuel 7:3, it says, and Nathan said to the king, go, do all that is in thine heart, for the Lord is with thee. And it came to pass that night that the word of the Lord came unto Nathan, saying, go and tell thy servant David, thus saith the Lord, shalt thou build an house for me to dwell in, whereas I have not dwelt in any house since the time that I brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt, even to this day, but have walked in a tent and in a tabernacle.
Con, you know, and that reminds me of that Luke. I think it's Luke chapter 9, verse 58, where it says, "Foxes have holes and birds have nests, but the Most High has no place to lay his head."
Yeah, Yahushua.
Yeah, you know, and he was a testimony to show the same thing. All right, King David wanted to build a temple so Yahweh Shemel Ashai has somewhere to dwell upon earth. All right, you know, but then in that I think it's First Corinthians, you know, loosely paraphrasing, it says, "You are the temple of Yahweh." Well,
Yep. 1 Corinthians 6.
Is it 6?
Yeah, it's in 2 Corinthians 6 too.
Con.
You can pull that real quick.
Pull that Luke 9 and 58 just to maximize on the point that you read, and then we can go into that First Corinthians 6, you know, to just link everything up properly.
This is Luke chapter 9 and verse 58. I'll read verse 57. It says, and it came to pass that as they went in the way, a certain man said unto him, Lord, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest. And Yahushua said unto him, foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head.
You know, so he didn't have any place to sleep that was his, you know, because he was there to do his Father's work. You know, the stars was pretty much his roof. You know, and that's why you know, with all this, you know, we Israel usually was people that roamed, you know, pilgrims upon the earth. All right, so Yahweh Shai was in the same mindset, you know, but he wanted the people to know that, hey, even though I'm king from heaven upon earth, I have no place to where I can dwell. All right, but you know, as we're going to go into that First Corinthians, how ye are the temple of the Most High, and the Most High dwelleth within you. Loosely paraphrasing.
Yeah.
You know, he that defileth the temple of the Most High, well, I perceive this what it is.
Let me get this. This is 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 19. It says, what, know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not of your own?
See?
I don't want to cut you though. I don't want to cut you. No, I was just going to say, because you made that point of Yahushua. All right, you know, Luke 9:58. All right, not having you know, place to rest his head. All right, I was going to make the point that, you know, Yahushua was, you know, being the only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father. He was basically directly, he is the temple himself. Yeah. Like when he in the New Testament also, he said, you know, if you destroy this temple, I'm gonna raise it up in 3 days. And he was talking about himself.
Yeah, his body.
Right. So there's a temple being constructed through the Spirit.
Yeah.
And that temple has a high priest who had, you know what I mean? And a high priest in the heavens, and that's Yahushua.
And that's Yahushua. And with that temple being made, because we are lively stones, we are going to be the building blocks of that temple. All right.
Right.
So
exactly. Yeah.
So that it all just shows that Yahweh Shemel Shai has set this thing up to to bring everybody in that's supposed to be in, you know, to the house. But Baba Kushai, we can go back to that 30.
This is Psalms chapter 30 and
2.
Verse 2. It says, O Lord, my power, I cried unto thee, and thou hast healed me. O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave. Thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit.
See, and Yahweh Shemi Shai is like that to those that seek after him. All right, he's not going to leave us in a docile state of mind or in a period where we have no help. He's always going to be, you know, very lenient or very gracious unto the elect. I got some Baba shot you guys.
This is Isaiah 55:3.
Boom.
It says, Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live, and I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David.
You know, and we are likened unto King David in this, because King David he had points where he was lowly,
Right.
you know, and the nation of Israel, you know, the elect, you know, are lowly in this kingdom right now.
Yeah.
All right.
The Lord kept David through a lot of trials and tribulations,
Yep.
in which his life was directly in danger.
Danger.
Like even when he chose him, and he put him, you know, he was brought into Saul's court. You know what I mean, playing the harp.
Yep.
Right. When Saul, when things went left with Saul, we know the Lord obviously was dealing with David. You know what I mean. But David was put in a lot of situations where he had to continue to use the faith, you know, that he demonstrated, you know, that he was given.
And it's the same way with us down here in Esau Edom's kingdom.
Yep.
You know, we have to choose faith over the cardinal,
Yep.
over the flesh.
The just shall live by his faith.
Yeah. And
That's what justified David.
Yep.
Like we're going into the mercies. The Lord gave mercy to David, right? Because he chose him, but also because David was faithful.
yep,
You know, just going in, you know, going in.
you got it.
You back in Psalms 30 and verse 3 again, it says, O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave. Thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit.
See, and the pit is shower all. You know, go down to hell. You know, he has preserved him just like he's preserving the elect right now.
Mhm.
All right, because the elect is going to win at the end of the day. All right, they all have to go through their own set perils and set trials. Okay, to be found worthy of the calling that they have been called from the womb.
Mhm.
All right,
But Psalm 30 and 4, it says, Sing unto the Lord, O ye his saints of his, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness.
you know, because we're supposed to praise Yahweh Shemi Al Shai without ceasing, you know, or give honor unto the King, you know, because he has done so much miraculous works for his elect. All right, and that's something that we should, you know, do on a daily basis. All right, because being in this society and seeing how fucking left this shit is, all right, you should know that Yahweh Shemi Al Shai is the only way. All right, and if you don't, you can snap into a Slim Jim. All right, and really understand what you're in. You got it.
This is Psalms 30 and 4. It says, Sing unto the Lord, O ye saints of his, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness. And I was just going to say, you know, we're singing a new song now, you know, and like it says, give thanks at the remembrance of His holiness. What is that? Baruch 2:30,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where it goes into us being in the land of our captivity.
I'll pull it.
You know,
This is Baruch, chapter 2, verse 30. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivity they shall remember themselves."
right? In the land of our captivity, we shall remember ourselves. All right, we're remembering the holiness, all right, of the power that we serve. Really, now today,
Yep.
you know, in its fullness. You know, we got the understanding, you know, of the prophecies. All right, we see what the Lord is doing, the play, the move, right? He's getting ready to make. All right, and that's the song. That's the song that we're singing. You know, but you got it out.
All right. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 43, verse. I'm gonna start at 29. It says, "Yahweh Shemi Al Shai is terrible. It is terrible and very great and marvelous in His power." You know, just showing how wonderful and how special that Yahweh Shemi Al Shai is, especially unto the elect. Verse 30, it says, "When ye glorify Yahweh Shemi Al Shai, exalt Him as much as ye can, for even yet will He far exceed. And when ye exalt Him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough." You know, just adding on to the point of how He saves. All right, how merciful He is. All right, how above he goes above and beyond, for those that fear Him. All right, for the elect, the 144,000 and the 1/3. But you got it.
This is back in Psalms chapter 30 and verse 5. It says, "For His anger endureth but a moment, in His favor is life."
Because he was angry with us because we transgressed. We started following other gods. All right, he was angry because Jake was being lovers of themselves instead of giving honor and glory unto His namesake. Okay, now look at the condition that we're in right now. All right, we are in a destitute situation. All right, if this was a football game, we 999 points. Back. All right, we can't win this game without Yahweh Shemi Al Shai. All right, but you got it.
Yep, in this flesh we lose. It's only through the Spirit.
Only through the Spirit
that we have victory. I got a quick one. Isaiah 54, 7 and 8. It says, "For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment."
For a moment.
Right? The curses. You know what I mean?
Hey, for that 350-year period, whenever Jake, was just completely worldly, all right, that's because Yahweh Shemi Al Shai turned His back against us. All right, back in the ancient world, he turned His back because He didn't want to see their wickedness. All right, now that He's viewing us, or Salakia, now since He has sent Yahweh Shai to be the mediator between us and Him, all right, he's starting to turn and see a small remnant that's worthy to be gazed upon, and that's the joy. That's the joy that we need to have, all right, because he's seeing these holy epistles go up, and he's going to preserve the elect, of these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American of Negroid descent. He's going to preserve you from the hell to come. But you got it.
Gone. This is Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 8. It says, "In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer." And another interesting point on this too is because we just read Isaiah 55, which is the next chapter,
Mm-hmm.
right? Talking about the sure mercies of David. This shows that prophets such as Isaiah, right, Micah, right, all
All the prophets.
all the prophets,
Jeremiah.
they had an understanding that the Lord was going to redeem us through the sure mercies of David, aka Yahushua.
Yahushua.
That the Lord was always going to have that everlasting kindness and mercy upon us, and it's linked to like what we're going to in Psalms 30, which is
the salvation.
the salvation, but basically the dedication of the temple.
Oh yeah, dedication of the temple.
Because like we talked about too before Cam come on, when you go into, and I would implore brothers that tune in, look into go look at the the maps of Mount Moriah, Jerusalem, and all that. But like when you read Genesis 22 and Abraham offered Isaac, that sacrifice
was on Mount Moriah.
Was out on the same mount.
Yeah,
on the Temple Mount.
Yeah.
When we know that that's all symbolic about Yahushua's sacrifice.
Yep.
So that's what's beautiful. I just want to make that point. Yeah. But this is back in. You got anything?
No, you got it.
All right, this is back in Psalms 30, in verse 5. It says, "For his anger endureth but a moment, and his favor is life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning."
Now, right now, we're in the night, right? Because Esau is doing everything that he wants to do, and the wicked does everything at night, right?
Yeah.
So he thinks nobody sees his bullshit.
Yeah.
All right. But come the day dawn, come the come the day start, and the day dawn, all things are gonna be brought to light.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
You
I got another one for you. Isaiah 60.
Oh, okay.
Right. It says, "Arise and shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee.
Yep.
For behold, the darkness," right, that night.
Yep. Esau, Edom, all his bullshit, all his lies, all his transgressions that he's putting upon the nation of Israel.
Right.
You got it.
"For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people."
Gross darkness. So
right.
So all this wickedness, all this bullshit that's going on in today's setting, all this shit, is supposed to happen, but the elect is supposed to live through it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
You got it.
It says when you go into the country, there's a difference between country dark.
Yeah.
And city dark.
Yeah. Cause
we out in the boondocks, we out in the, you know what I mean?
You can't see your hand in front of your face, bro. Because I used to live in the country, man.
Right.
In the country, it's different, especially at night. At night, the stars, you look up and you see down there galaxies.
Yep.
All right. But in the city, because of the light pollution, you can't see shit.
Right.
All right, but yeah, in some parts, whenever the moon's not there, you can't see your hand in front of your face. Mm-hmm. All right, so that means that you can be a booty and a prey to whatever animal that's around about you. But you got it.
Yeah, it says Isaiah 60:2, and then we'll jump back. It says, "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and the gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee."
Upon thee, so upon you. All right, everybody else is going to be lost in the sauce.
Right.
But you're going to have that light to guide your path.
This is back in Psalms 30, verse 6. It says, "And in my prosperity I said, I shall never be moved. Lord," all right, matter of fact, I'm going to read verse 5 again.
Yeah, read 5 again.
It says, "For his anger endureth but a moment, and in his favor is life." And you can liken favor to this grace period.
Yeah.
Because the word grace means favor when you go into it.
Yep.
The Lord has favorites.
Yep.
All right. It says, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. And in my prosperity I said, I shall never be moved."
See, because weeping, we are weeping right now. We're praying to Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai. Praying means to beg. We are begging Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai for salvation right now. Okay, and as we're begging, he hears us. All right, though the weeping shall last for a night, you know, read that 6 again, Bible shot.
Yep. It says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning.
But joy cometh in the morning. All right, and that joy is us getting out of here, or being put in a different state. You know? All right, like it says in that Psalm chapter 26 in the 126 and 2. You know, we're gonna wake like it was a dream.
Yep.
You know, so it's same in tandem, but you got it.
Beautiful. It's back in Psalms 30, in verse 6 it says, and in my prosperity I said, I shall never be moved. And I had a quick precept for that.
You got it.
This is back in 2 Samuel 7. Now I'm going to jump down, and I'm going to read verse 8, and I'm going to read, actually hold up. I'm going to read verse 12 and get to the point. 2 Samuel 7 and 12. It says, and when thy days be fulfilled, and it's Nathan speaking to David, it says, and when thy days be fulfilled, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever.
And that was Solomon.
Right.
You know, Solomon was the one that built the temple of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, and he's the one that, you know, set everything in order. You know, just like in these times, he's coming back to do the same thing. All right.
Yep.
But you got it.
Yep. Psalms 30 and verse 7, it says, Lord, by thy favor thou hast made my mountain to stand strong.
See?
Thou didst hide thy face, and I was troubled.
See? He has made the mountain of Israel to stand strong. All right? Like that truth. That truth is going to wax strong whenever it's back in the right hand. You know, I'm saying that as the right hand as being the righteous. You know, I'm thinking of a scripture.
If I may, mountains, when you read scriptures, mountains represent government.
Yep.
Like even now, you know, you have these economic forum that be having them summit meetings.
Yes, the summits.
Right.
Where they can do wickedness.
Right, where they can do wickedness. You know what I'm saying? So, right, David is basically, right, he's saying, you know, he's going to have a everlasting rulership.
Yep.
You know? And proof of that is the house of David being risen now. That shows you, too, that it's all spiritual. There's nothing Esau can do to stop Yahweh Shah from ruling the planet Earth. He already rules the planet Earth. You people just don't realize that yet.
Yep.
But you will when the Lord delivers the elect from the four corners of the planet Earth through the worst times in human history. All right, and then he transforms those men and puts them in rulership.
Yeah. So that scripture I was thinking of was that 2nd Ezra chapter 7 verse 34.
Okay.
You know, read 34 and 35. You know. Oh.
No, you good. King James Bible app be tripping. It's been giving me trouble.
It's been glitchy.
2nd Ezra 7 and verse 34. You said 34, right?
Yep.
It says, can I read verse 33?
Bible shot.
It says, and the Most High shall appear upon the seat of judgment.
There you go.
And misery shall pass away, and the long suffering shall have an end.
See? And that's the mountain of the nation of Israel. There's not going to be any wicked thing that can, you know, rest upon it. All right? And with that mountain being exalted, all right, it's going to exalt Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Yep. It's going to show the proper rulership. Right. All right? And it's going to be a testament to all the other nations round about. Hey, this is how you do it. All right? Now sit your ass down. Let me eat. You know? You got it.
It says, verse 34, 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 34, it says, but judgment only shall remain, truth shall stand, and faith shall wax strong.
You know, judgment shall only remain. So the Most High is going to put everything in its proper order. All right? And judgment is going to be ruling, through the earth openly. All right, and that's going to be added with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, the elect is going to be able to stand on their 2 feet instead of walk around and live on their knees like they're doing here in Babylon the Great.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
I'm gonna read. Can I read verse 35?
Yeah, Bible shot.
It says, and this is some good stuff.
Yeah.
It says, and the work shall follow.
So the works that you're doing now is going to follow you into the kingdom.
Yep.
Okay, so if you're not doing anything now, all right, you're not going to reap anything in the kingdom. See, it's all like a farmer. He plants a seed and he reaps the crops that come up out of it.
Yep.
But you got it.
And really, this is kind of multifold too.
Yep.
Because we know, when the Lord delivers the elect, right, and our faith is perfected.
It's perfected.
Right, and we're perfected.
Yeah.
Abaratazah, we're part of that number.
Yeah.
It says, and we know, you niggas on the earth though,
Yeah.
you heathen, y'all are going into slavery.
Yes, and that's the judgment.
Y'all got work to do, man.
That's the judgment.
So it's not just the end of, because the way Esau's taught the scriptures, just when the kingdom comes, everything just magically appears.
Yeah.
Nah, you niggas got work to do, man.
Hey, those who really fucked up gonna start turning big rocks into little rocks.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
You gonna be Esau gonna have to push up all this damn concrete.
Right.
Y'all been hurting my back for all these damn decades. Shit. But continue on.
It says, and the work shall follow. 2 Ezra 7 and 35.
Yep.
And the work shall follow, and the reward shall be showed, and the wicked deeds shall bear no rule.
Shall bear no rule. All right, and how is that? How is it going to be a force? All right, you can jump back in that 2 Ezra chapter 6 verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is being brought out more and more each day. Because all this is going to be through wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right.
Yep. This is 2 Ezra 6 and 27. It says, for evil shall be put out,
Boom.
and deceit shall be quenched. And if I may, because you're going in, I want to add, that's going to start, right? Because we talked about Revelation 11.
Yep.
When you read the end of Revelation 11, it says the kingdoms of the earth have become Yahweh-Shai's.
Boom, because he has all the crowns.
Right. So he's going to be snatching people out of the rulership seat.
Yep.
And he's going to be appointing the elect.
The elect.
To
To
take
rule.
those steads.
Yep.
The same way Esau was doing on the left hand side today.
Yep.
But anyways,
But
it's like that.
you got it.
2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 28, it says, as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared.
All right, so Yahweh Shemel Shai, and that's how all this is going to be set up. But all this is due to David, setting up that mountain. he set up the mountain to cook, but now he's allowing everybody that has been attached to it to cook as well. And so that's going to be a banquet. But we can get back to that Psalms chapter 30, unless there's more that you want to get in there. Because that 36 is good too.
I'll make one point. I'll read verse 28 again. 2 Ezra 6 and 28. It says, and as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, right? The new bodies.
Yep.
And the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared. Because right now the truth is being broadcasted.
Yep.
Right?
Openly.
We're telling you people the truth. All right.
For free.
But we don't yet have the ability to actually enforce the judgment.
To cement it.
Right.
And that's what that 2 Ezra 7 and 35 was like. Judgment shall stand.
Right.
And then the force of it. So that's how all that links together.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Man, and that's it says in the fruit,
in the fruit,
right? Because like this, like
Yeah.
any person that's that may have been on a farm or
yeah,
grandparents, parents had grew stuff. The fruit is the last. That's the last part, of the process.
but the fruit has all the nourishment of the tree in it, to where if the
Sweet
fruit
part.
hits the ground, it can grow another tree.
Right.
That's how glorious all this is.
Right.
That's how glorious all of it is. It's
Right.
just a continuation.
Right.
But Salakia, you got it.
Yeah. Like the harvest.
Yeah, the harvest.
Gathering the fruits.
Boom.
Making whatever you're gonna make out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's like
Nah.
this is back in Psalms 30 and
With the 8?
verse 7.
Okay, come on.
It says, Lord, by thy favor thou hast made my mountain to stand strong.
See?
Thou didst hide thy face, and I was troubled. I cried to thee, O Lord, and unto the Lord I made supplication.
Because whenever the Most High hid his face from us, we didn't know what to do. Alright? Because since the installation of the nation of Israel, we've always had Yahweh Shai to guide us. Alright? To put us on the proper path. Okay? We weren't like the heathen. We didn't have a king over us until we begged for it. Alright? But Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has always been there to guide us the proper ways to do these things. Okay? But and that is coming back, because it's starting now with the prophets being sent back on the earth. Okay? And now since the prophets are put back on the earth, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is dealing with them. So Israel needs to focus on the prophets so they can get out of the hellish condition that they're in. But only the 1/3 is going to do it. Only a small remnant is going to be able to do this properly. All right, because 2/3 of our people must be cut off and die, as it says in Zechariah. Loosely paraphrasing, but you got it.
Yep. This is Psalms chapter 30 and verse 9. It says, what profit is there in my blood when I go down to the pit?
Boom.
Shall the dust praise thee? Shall it declare thy truth?
And the Father isn't, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is not the God of the dead. He's the God of the living. All right. So we must be quickened. All right, because right now our people are in a dead state. As it says in Revelation chapter 11 verse 8. Our people are what's that? Proverbs chapter 21 verse 16. He that wandereth out of the way to understand shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So our people is dead, dusted, and is cast off, like it says. In that Ezekiel chapter 37, all right, the Most High is putting us back together. All right.
You mind if I read this in the NLT?
Baba Shah.
This is Psalms 39. It's interesting. It says, what will you gain if I die? If I sink into the grave? Can my dust praise you? Can it tell to your faithfulness? And I just wanted to make the point, like, that shows you that David was thinking about immortality a lot. Right?
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like that.
He understood that death is, like, what's the point of death? Wisdom of Solomon 2:23.
Yep, that's what I was about to get.
The Lord created us to be immortal.
Yeah, so the Most High created us to live forevermore. All right.
And you made that point too earlier, going into Solomon. That was Solomon's whole conclusion of the matter. Like, that was a part of the conclusion of the matter, right? Fear the Lord, right? Keep the commandments.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But also, like, this is vanity.
Yeah, vanity and vexation of spirit.
What's the point? You know what I mean? Of this current setup, if we're just gonna die and have to restart all over again, over again, and over again. All right, showing you immortality should be on the front of you Achaeon's mind.
All the time. You know, we are doing this to live forevermore. All right.
Exactly.
There's a precept
Yep.
that I think it's Wisdom of Solomon 4:26.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Going into.
How can we praise Yahweh by Shemi Shai from the grave?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I read it all the time. It's 4:16. Salakia. 4:16. Well, Wisdom of Solomon 4:16. You know,
I don't know if this is the one, but I could read it. It says, "Thus the righteous." Wisdom of Solomon 4:16 says, "Thus the righteous that is dead shall condemn the ungodly which are living."
Yep.
And youth that is soon perfected the many years, and old age of the unrighteous.
So it says, because our people are in a dead state of mind right now, all right, but they are alive, you know, in the flesh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but they're not alive in the spirit, all right, but they're going to be quickened, all right, and with us being quickened, you know, the righteous that was in that dead state of mind, they're going to condemn the ungodly, which is Esau, Edom. All right,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot, but you know, we can just jump back to that Psalms chapter 30. You know, I don't want to go on a tangent.
This is Psalms chapter 30 and verse 10. It says, "Hear, O Lord, and have mercy upon me. Lord Yahweh, be thou my helper."
See, we have Yahweh by Shemi Shai to help us and to guide us. All right, to show us the proper way. You know, to do all things. You know, especially as we're here in Esau Edom's kingdom. You know, he's going to guide us towards that righteous path. But you got it.
In verse 11, it says, "Thou hast turned from me my mourning into dancing.
Yep.
Thou hast put off my sackcloth and girded me with gladness."
See, that's Baruch chapter 5. You know, cast on the double garment, loosely paraphrasing. Salakia.
You good?
This is Baruch chapter 5. It says, verse 1, it says, "Put off, O Jerusalem, the garments of mourning and affliction, and put on the comeliness of the glory that cometh from Yahweh by Shemi Shai forever." Okay? And that's how the Most High has taken his mourning and sadness and turned it into joy and dancing. Okay, because that's what he's going to do to the elect. All right, I'm going to continue. It says, "Cast about thee a double garment, you know, of the righteousness which cometh from Yahweh by Shemi Shai, and set a diadem on thine head of the glory of the everlasting." And that diadem is a crown. So Yahweh, this is part of the crowning ceremony. All right, because the Most High is going to crown us. All right, those ones that stood stiffly. All right, as it says in that Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 15, how Salakia,
You got another? I was going to get something real quick.
Oh,
If that's okay.
you got it.
This is Isaiah chapter 25 and verse 8. And it reads, it says, "He will swallow up death
Boom.
and victory, and the Lord God will wipe away
All
tears from off all faces, and the rebuke of his people shall he take away from all the earth, for
All
the
the earth.
Lord hath spoken it."
Because Yahweh by Shemi Shai is going to do this in such a miraculous fashion. You know, he's going to put down one kingdom and set up the only kingdom to reign on the earth after. All right,
It was in Psalm 5.
that's why I'm in. All right, I'll just read 5 and 15 just to get to the point. It says Wisdom of Solomon 5 verse 15. It says, "But the righteous liveth forevermore. Their reward also is with Yahweh, and the care of them is with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai." For verse 16, it says, "Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them." So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to do all this for the elect's sake. All right, and with all this being done, all right, the mountain of David, the mountain of King David, is going to reign forevermore. Okay, and then with it reigning, judgment is going to be instituted on all the heathen.
Yeah. Like in modern talk, like, because people don't think about the scriptures practically.
Nah.
Right. But if you have America, for example, right, and right, you got Trump, right, you got the military. All right, what does America do when they want to, get something? They wage war.
Yep.
Right, and then you get niggas like Hegseth talking about we're launching this operation, this military operation, right, on XYZ 1, 2, 3. Well, that's the heavens. That's in the scriptures. That's what we're telling you.
Exactly.
Yeah, how Bashem Yahushai is about to launch a
strategic strike
operation, right? A strategic strike on
the rest
on the entire planet Earth.
You
niggas is getting ready to be removed out of power. That's the point.
That's the point. And it was told to you from 2,000 years ago, and then men that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has handpicked to bring this out is telling this to your face. They're shaking the hand in your kingdom to your face. Nigga, you about to go down. Like the Salakia, you got that.
No, I'm gonna cut you. No, I'm saying.
Nah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm saying you got
it's the last verse. And we're gonna close it.
Yeah.
Psalms 30 and 12. It says, I'll read verse 11 again. It says, "Thou hast turned for me my mourning into dancing. Thou hast put off my sackcloth and girded me with gladness."
So with those glorious robes, but you got it.
Verse 12, it says, "To the end that my glory may sing praise to thee, and not be silent. O Yahweh, my power, I will give thanks to thee forever."
Because he is worthy to be praised. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is worthy to be praised, Akim and Aquatim. That's the joy of this whole story. Is giving all honor, all glory, unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and saying to Wada, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to see these things before everybody else. Alright, so with that, I ain't got nothing else. You got anything else? So with that, the water for listening. Alright, we want to give all praises and all honor and all glory due to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles. Keep fighting, keep pushing. Shalom and shalom.
Shalom.